Hey guys, this is Kota. It's our newest product. It's an environment VFX pack. It's for Unity, and all the VFX in here are made with VFX Graph, or some of them are made with Particle System. And it's a huge variety of different visual effects that you can use to add atmosphere and detail to your game. So if you're already using one of our other assets, or if this is your first time, it's a great opportunity to get involved with, OccaSoftware assets. So I'm just going to do a quick showcase here and show you guys some of the different assets. So you have this bokeh effect. It's kind of like when you're looking towards the sun or when your camera's a little bit out of focus, you get these sort of rings. So that's what this one's inspired by. There's also these little bubbles that come in and then they pop out of existence. So that's really good for like underwater scenes. And in fact, it kind of feels like an underwater scene here when you have this set up. Then we have this cool chest opening effect. So, oops. So this one's nice and small, so it fits really well with like a small chest in your game. You can obviously scale it up. And you see it's really nice because it has those particles that spawn in, and then it has these additional particles that kind of scatter in and then jump into the frame. Then we have these comets. I'm actually using these in Altos as comets that fly in the sky overhead. And I thought it would be good to bring them to, sort of a smaller VFX pack. And so you can see them here. They're really cool. They have this nice texture on them, and they leave these awesome particles behind. So they really look like comets, and you kind of arrange them and configure the velocities so that they're not going every which way. And they have this cool confetti fountain. The confetti actually has, this is the same confetti from the confetti pack, but it has a ton of different variants for all different times of celebrations, like autumn, Chinese New Year, Christmas, Earth Day, Easter, 4th of July, Halloween, New Year, spring, St. Patrick's Day, summer, Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, and winter. So there's this huge variety. So there's different styles. There's this fountain style, there's pop style, it's like continuous radial style, there's rain effect, this sheet effect, a sheet burst. This one's my favorite, and then this cool shotgun. So all those you can scale and tweak, and those ones are made with Particle System, and then other ones are made with VFX Graph in general. We also have these really nice dandelions. So I actually hand authored these textures, these dandelion textures. So I pulled up tons of images and tried to make it, have some variety. And I just kind of have them subtly float in and then fly away in the scene. So those are really nice. We have these little dust specks that are, in the real world, the most visible when super well lit. But here you can see them all the time, and it's really nice. It adds like a nice level of detail and a nice level of sort of ambience to your scene. And then we also have these fireflies. And so the fireflies are like these little thin guys that fly around, and they have this nice glow behind them. So that glow isn't just with bloom. That glow is an extra quad that we have rendering as well. So fireworks is kind of big. Let's see where that one went. Where do you go? Unity doesn't want to cooperate with me today. That's why. So the fireworks kind of pops in, and then it flies up into the air, and you can change the color as well. So for example, if you want to make it a lot brighter, which you probably will want to do, you can go ahead and spawn it, and then it'll fly up. Oh, I think my clipping planes or something is not right. Oh, there, you can kind of see it fading in at the end there. So something's not super right with that one, but then we have the fog. So the fog effect is really cool. I jumped into Blender and I used it to render out this really nice set of smoke textures. And then here you can sort of see the fog starting to come in, but I'll just bump the alpha so you can see it nicely. So if we bring that alpha up, you can really see this fog present in the scene. That looks really nice. Adds a nice level of detail. And then here we have this little grass effect. So the grass kind of pops up and then flies away. I like that one a lot. And then we have these ink blots. So this is kind of like if you're fighting some sort of inky enemy, or if you're in like an interesting zone where the world is falling apart or something like that. These are really nice for that, and those look really good. And then we have this ink burst. So sort of like a little pop where something might disappear, for example. And then we have this lightning effect. So this one's actually pretty challenging. I don't know if you guys ever try to make lightning with VFX graph, but here we're spawning just a set of particles along this path and offsetting the path a little bit as we go using noise. And then here we have this nice loot drop effect. This one comes with a ton of different variants. Let me show you. Whoops. So let's see here. Yeah, so it comes with all these different rarities, and they're all sort of pre-configured and look really cool. So here's an example of another one. Let's see. So yeah, so here's an example of another one, and that one looks really cool as well. And so you have all these different rarities of the loot drops, and then we have this rain effect. So it's another VFX. All of these have, you know, prefab variants too. So I think there's like 200 something prefab variants in here. And we have these rock particles. These are like 3D particles that kind of come around, spin around, jump around like that. And we have this ground effect that sort of adds like a dusty sense to the ground. Some shaders can do this, but it's nice to actually have the 3D fog dust on top of that as well. It adds a little bit of extra detail. So that one's nice. And then we have these shooting stars. These are in Altos as well. And then we have snow. So the snow by default here is pretty subtle. Try not to overdo it, but I'll overdo it for you guys. So we bring the opacity up and then we spawn a couple more. You'll be able to really see that snow coming in. I think that looks really nice. You can see the snow's kind of like shifting around and very turbulent, which is really familiar to how snow, you know, feels and looks. And that's using a bunch of textures that I had authored as well. And then we have these sprites. So sprites is really cool. It's using this new feature that I added, which is this hue randomness. So if you ramp that up, you can see that it's like completely random colors. I think that looks really nice. And then you can control the size randomness as well. You want to have a lot of different size sprites. And then this one's like a water fountain. It's a really interesting stylized water fountain, and you can see it's like a lot of these quads shooting up and then coming out here and fading away. And then finally we have this sort of stylized sort of anime style wind. Let me go ahead and bump up the emission. So we get a few of these. And so yeah, so this is like this really nice sort of stylized wind that sort of just floats around and shifts. And you can see that the trails are sort of moving as well. So that looks really nice. So yeah, this pack's available now on the Unity Asset Store. And like I mentioned, it has basically everything that you'll need for environment VFX. And I'm planning to continue working on it. So I've made a list of other VFX that I'm planning to work on as well at some point. And so yeah, if you like this and you're interested in trying it out, go ahead and check out the link in the description below. And if you like the video, make sure to give it a like and to subscribe. Thanks. Cheers, guys.